One day I want to become a Bok. I think that's every kid's dream in South Africa. We all want to become Boks one day.
I know a lot of people say that and a lot of people are probably not going to make it, but I really want to play for the Springboks.
I want to become the best athlete that I can become. At the moment, I'm just training and I'm doing everything towards that.
It's all in my hands now because I've achieved a lot already. I've done stuff that I never thought I would do. Again, reminding myself that there's no pressure. Pressure is where I come from. And I'm here to play, I'm here to have fun, and I'm here to showcase myself. It's possible.
So how rugby works, the SARU start identifying talent from under 16. You get in what's called the Green Squad. The Green Squad is a SARU pathway program. And suddenly Lekanyo's in that. From a year before, that's what nobody understood. 2 years before, Lekanyo played no rugby at under 14. Played 3 games because he had nowhere to play. Under 15, playing semi-reasonable rugby, and under 16, he's made Grand Como and he's in the mix. And then that kind of gathered momentum, again with them being pioneers. They then went into grade 11 and 12 in the school, and both of them Lekanyo made the Cravenwick A side in his grade 11 year, and he made SA Schools B in grade 11. And Lamla made the Cravenwick B side. Yeah, he made the B side, which is just huge. Another guy that had come onto the scene who's very important to the Connect story is a guy, Labib Levy. Labib is on our board and he is currently the Stormers skills coach. But Labib is an amazing human being and one of my best friends, and is a professional coach, but a great human being, but understands the grassroots developmental process as well as we do, and the challenges. And we met through touch. He's actually the South African touch rugby coach, and we just immediately hit it off. And other kids then started joining us, and there was another transition that happened in the academy, because up until that point we were largely Khayelitsha focused. And then there were a few boys that joined us from elsewhere, but in particular one boy, Ridal Bay. So he played under 13 Western Province with Mr. and Akka Mjawule. And Ridal's dad, he was at a club called Primrose. He was the coach there against us, and he came to me, to his credit, he came to me and says, "I don't know what you're doing, but you keep beating us, and I want my son to be involved in it." And then we had another conversation, I think we need to move this beyond Khayelitsha. I think this needs to become a broader program. And again, having a conversation of what that looks like, it started being, okay, cool, let's start facilitating more rugby bursaries, the kids coming into the program. Another one that came in was Hashim Peed, who came through Labib and immediately went into Bishops. And last year was the SA School Scrum Off, and is now gone to the Lions. One of the easiest kids we've ever had to work with, barely had to do anything. Put him in the school, flourished. That started with Ridar and his family, because then a whole bunch of Muslim kids started joining our academy. And then we started really enjoying the idea of multiculturalism and realizing the power of it. And then we realized we needed a place of our own, that we weren't sure what it was. We still didn't have a well-resourced, well enough resourced academy to go and buy a facility or whatever. And we were looking, what I realized more than anything was we needed a gym. When you get to under 15 and under 16 rugby, the conditioning aspect of what you're doing, that's what sets players apart, from being talented to being able to cope with the rigors of contact or collision sport. So we looked around, and one of my friends is a property developer, and he had a building it's about 18 k's outside of central Cape Town where we were, but kind of a new estate and a bit of a neutral venue, and also one we could afford. So we scraped some funding together and took some old equipment and bought some new equipment and partnered with another guy as well and started our own gym and training facility. And that was the best move we could have ever made. Best move, because what started happening was we had a central point of our own. And even the kids on bursaries and the ones in Khayelitsha could come on weekends and in holidays and train together and really get the best out of my skill set. And to be honest, is where I really started falling in love with my career again. That changed everything, because we had a base, we had a nice facility, which we then improved upon. It also gave us an understanding of what we could do with the rest of the guys that weren't in that kind of elite player pathway side of things. Because we started realizing that what's the purpose of what we're doing? And really what we cottoned on was we want to create jobs. We want to create jobs in the sense of, yes, we would love everybody to be a playing professional. We would love that. But when you go from idealistically starting something like this and then really realizing how hard it is to become a professional player, and how there's only 450 professional rugby players in South Africa, and there's only really 4 functional elite international unions here. The rest are professional, but in name only in some ways. And then you realize we need plan B. We need to start looking at a pathway A, pathway B path for these kids. And a lot of this is, when you come out of the environment where you've come from, and people who haven't come along for this journey never really understood this until we've really started formalizing what we're doing now in the last few years. Part of meeting the needs of the participants is understanding the environment they come from is so informal. But having our own facility and having our own place to operate from then we started thinking about a coaching pathway.
Let's move! Let's push each other! Let's go push, because we got each other! Let's go! We got each other, let's push each other!